You said something earlier that I wanted to also extrapolate on, and that was the
Yep.
inclusiveness of the group.
Yes, the inclusiveness of the group.
Yeah. So another story. Forgive me again. Here we go. Um, first week in college, there was a meeting of the Black Student Association, and Black student, you go to see what it's about. Basically, an information session, and there were about 100 of us in the room, 20 men, 80 women, freshman class. And as I'm sitting in the room, and the president at the time, I remember his name was Alvin. He's sharing with us, the challenges at Harvard. For instance, at Harvard you had what was the I can't remember the professor's name. Books were written there, sort of like the bell curve, for instance. Books that sort of justified racism and sort of differences in education and differences in intellect due to color or whatnot. These kind of books are being published at the college or whatnot. And as a college student, you sort of we were told, as new college students, we were told, there's going to be a lot of challenges here. A lot of racism. Prepare yourself. And I went into the room feeling afraid. I was afraid. I unconsciously, I would say, but I'm aware of it now. I started to say, okay, everyone I meet is a potential enemy, which is true in life, regardless of your color. But I thought to myself, that's not how I saw the world. I grew up with people who were different. I didn't even know that. Like I met, like we had my father. We had friends who were, black, white, Jewish, Indian, whatever. I just hadn't met anyone from like Southeast Asia, like East Asia, like Chinese or Japanese growing up. But these were friends of my parents, people that we knew in the neighborhood, or people that were family friends. And so in my brain, I kept saying, not everyone's an enemy. I'd had the evidence, I had the proof, so to speak. And so occasionally, though, that feeling of fear and being in a group where you feel like, we're protected from the weirdos from the outside can make you racist. Listen, let me not lie. It can make you bitter, make you biased, and all that kind of make you bigoted. That's the word I was looking for. Make you bigoted. And so, but a lot of times that's produced by the leadership. You have an organization that breeds that. I don't even think it's intentional sometimes. So it's really important that the leadership in an organization is able to not practice that and not entertain it. I've never, and in these situations, everyone's of the same color, and we could, because we're not in mixed companies, say racist things. We could if we wanted to. But how many years? 2007, 15 years or so doing this organization. We've never had that. We have, and it also, the irony of it all is that you'll have people who look black, who are, their father was Jewish, or their mother was white, or there's a fellow, not young fellow. We were both young at the time. Um, I won't out him. I won't say his name, but if you meet him, he looks completely white. You would say, okay, he's white. And he came to Black Professionals once with his now wife, his girlfriend at the time, and people he's kind of looking at the corner, like, what's that? And I'm like, I remember we were sitting at a place called Las Chicas. I don't know if you know Las Chicas. It's a restaurant that's no longer there in Montesando. And I immediately, because I had met him before, I knew him from LinkedIn, I think. And I started having a conversation with him, treated him like he was, we all sort of treat him like, he's a guest, he's here joining us, he's one of our group. And that sort of went away. And then later on, it might have been a couple of months later, he was like, you may not have known this, but my father was black. My father is black. He's never felt like he could belong he wanted to belong in the black community, so to speak, etc. And he was very thankful that he felt welcomed. And so, but if I had entertain that bias, like, why is this person here, or this is my safe space to be a bigot, or this is my safe space to waddle in my bitterness, or fear. Even it's not really bitterness, I say fear. We would know him. Other people wouldn't come, and then the people who come because they are black, they change. They realize, oh, I don't need to be afraid. Japanese aren't out to get me, or the world can be bad, but it's not a bad place just because it's the world, that type of thing. So I learned that growing up. I learned that through work as well. Dale Carnegie used to be a Dale Carnegie trainer, and you train all these different people, and you realize we're all the same, whether we don't want to admit it in times of weakness, or we're upset at someone, or someone's a Democrat or Republican or left or right, or Jimito or Komeito or whatever. You find reasons to say, well, I'm different from that person, but we know, when there's really not a lot of difference between us. But it's up to people in the group, leaders in the group, to make that difficult decision. And so we've had to do that a lot of times. Occasionally, we've had one or two people who join us thinking this is a place where I can be fearful. I can be bitter. I can be upset that, I've been treated a certain way most of my life. And really, that's not going to make you happy. It's not going to lead you to any sort of success. You got to get out of that. And you got to find friends and people who help you, who care about you, and who will support you in doing that. So that's sort of our mission. And I'm glad when you came that you didn't feel that way at all, because that's the point. And hopefully, as the word gets out, we'll have more people from all over the world there, because they want to meet people of color. They want to be allies to us. They want to sort of experience us in the wild, so to speak. A safe space, and you come to realize that we're all aiming for the same thing, and we can find ways to collaborate and build our future. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Yes.